Comic Station and fronttowardsgamer.com. As usual, we are doing our San Diego Comic-Con wrap-up, and we're just going to wrap all the news from San Diego Comic-Con. And of course, considering it is a comic convention, we're going to start off with the comic news. One of the biggest news is that I'm looking forward to is, since Marvel has taken over the Star Wars franchise, they did announce that there are 3 new titles coming out with the Star Wars universe, taking this over from Dark Horse Comics. While we're sad to see that go, I'm also still looking forward to how they're going to continue it. And the first piece of news I'm interested in is because the new Star Wars simple title will be written by Jason Aaron, who I like because he does Thor God of Thunder, and drawn by John Cassaday. And it's going to be set shortly after the episode of A New Hope.
So in that intervening time between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back?
Correct. And then the next one is going to be a Darth Vader series, and it's going to be written by Karen Gillian and drawn by Salvador Larroca. And it is set at, this is the interesting part. I'm looking forward to this.
This one sounds actually like probably the best Star Wars pitch I've heard in a long time.
Yes, it's going to be set at the exact same time as Star Wars.
The original trilogy.
And it's going to be from the Empire's point of view.
I hope this will finally fill in some big questions, like, what was the Emperor's policies on things?
So, yeah, I always like to see, maybe I'm a bit of an evil person, but I like to see the dark side of things. So it's always fun to see what the bad guys are thinking and how they justify it. But of course, and finally, on the third issue is somewhat of an announcement. There's going to be a 5-issue mini-series called Princess Leia, and it's going to be written by Mark Waid and drawn by Terry Dodson. And
if it does well, it might become an ongoing series.
I'm a little hesitant on this because it's kind of like a cop-out for them if they decide not to continue it. And it's really basically saying, hey, as usual, it's up to you guys to read it and let us know, do you want a strong female character as the lead main of the comic? Which I think Star Wars by Brian Wood from Dark Horse Comics proves that people love Princess Leia.
Yeah, I don't really see why it wouldn't do well, especially because you have a superstar writer like Mark Waid on it. He also has another new book coming out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because he is apparently secretly multiple man.
Yep. And besides Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the only really big news, I guess, coming out of Comic-Con, which is kind of weird, always as usual, is Comixology announced that they're going somewhat DRM-free, where they are offering a lot of publishers, most notably not Marvel and DC, they are allowing people to download PDF versions or that kind of format
so that you will have the comic on your hard drive. So if anything ever happens to Comixology, like it goes down or goes away, you'll still have a copy of the comic, as opposed to with the DRM system where your purchase would go away with the website.
Granted, while this could be construed as a non-news item, because honestly, a lot of the publishers they're working with already offer DRM-free, such as Image Comics and Thrillent. It's more of a news because something as big as Comixology, having been bought by Amazon, could push the industry to become more DRM-free, which would have rippling effects.
I think overall we'd like to see things get more DRM-free, lest we have like the comic book version of, say, SimCity.
Yeah, there you go.
Moving right along into video games, that was a nice segue.
Yeah, because it's,
it's
Comic-Con, so video games.
And it's a game site, so we kind of had to.
Yes.
The big thing here, for us anyway, is Lego Batman 3. We got all kinds of news about this.
Beyond Gotham.
Yeah. Adam West is going to be in it as the 1960s Batman, which is great. If you can, find the footage of the panel that he did with Julie Newmar and Burt Ward at San Diego Comic-Con announcing the full box set of the Adam West show. It's a great time, and check out the show, it's really good too. But also you're going to have in it Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, and a whole mess of other characters, stuff going on in space. It looks great and amazing for anyone who's a fan of the Lego Batman series.
Yep, and despite Lito and I not being able to make it out to San Diego Comic-Con, one of our newer writers, Derek Ford, happens to live out there. So he actually went around, walked around a little bit, and got some hands-on. Some things most notably for the video games is Sunset Overdrive, Evolve, which I really loved at PAX East, and The Evil Within. So go check out Front Towards Gamer. He's putting up a bunch of hands-on previews for San Diego Comic-Con.
We also have the new variant Play Arts figures from Kai.
I love the statue.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, that sort of thing coming out, along with some Batman, anime-style Batman, that kind of stuff going on, because, it's Play Arts Kai figures.
Yeah, some people compare it to some of the other Final Fantasy artwork, but you know what? It looks really cool, and I really like it. And I think it'll look great next to my. I just bought the Play Arts Kai Batgirl, and I'm looking for the Wonder Woman. So it's gonna be a whole series.
So it's always really cool to see that sort of thing done. You know, like another art style applied to a Western hero. Like Marvel a while back did a whole bunch of manga versions of their characters with like manga Spider-Man, manga Captain America. That was some really cool stuff. You can find it.
And speaking of Marvel, Kotobukiya. Kia. I never know how to pronounce their name, but I love their statues. I have a bunch of them. And they revealed that along their Marvel line of statues that they're going to be having the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Carnage, but they're also going to be having some more Bushido, which is the manga style, kind of anime style statues out. Fits right into that. And one of the ones they showed out was a prototype of Rogue. So it looked really nice.
Nice. DC, of course, is going to have some collectibles as well. Mainly a lot of Batman stuff, like the New 52 Batman, the animated series, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, Arrow, obviously, and personal favorite, I believe, was the Shazam figure.
Yeah, that actually looked really cool. Just looks beefy. I like it.
Yeah. I'm still kind of surprised that we didn't get any confirmation of The Rock possibly playing Shazam. Just a lot of teasing, but no payoff.
Although it did come on with the Gruden.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I love the stilts in the shirt. It's amazing. And, of course, because it's a Comic-Con, and, you know, they don't have enough there, they had a bunch of trailers from movies and television shows.
All kinds of trailer stuff coming out.
It's really funny when a Comic-Con has more news about movies and television than they do about comics.
It's more like what's popular in the media con.
Basically, it's an entertainment con at this point.
Yeah.
And starting off the flow of trailers was the Mad Max Fury
Road trailer. That looks incredible. It's from the original creator coming back, along with Tom Hardy, probably well known now for playing Bane, coming to be Mad Max for it.
Yep. Something I'm looking forward to is the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies.
Closing out the trilogy.
It looked amazing. A lot of people, and it's a big thing on Tumblr right now, is give it to me. Once they see it, take it back. They don't want it to end. They know that just the tears are going to fly.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to see how they do that one. Like, you know, I found reactions have been mixed to the Hobbit trilogy on the whole, but it's got one chance to finish strong, and I think it can really pull it off.
You know what? I love the animated series, and one of the best scenes was the battle scenes. So
Also, we have some movie news in general. They've announced a Godzilla sequel starring 3 classic monsters of Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra, who was actually given an Easter egg in the most recent film.
Yeah, and Godzilla was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, but going with some of you kind of teased a little earlier, was the Deadpool film test footage was kind of leaked, quote unquote. They never leak it; they just kind of set it out there and let's see people's reactions. And people are gobbling it up. It's Deadpool, and
it's Deadpool just sitting around and he's doing wacky things because he's Deadpool and listening to Hollaback-Girl, if I remember correctly. You can actually pretty well tell that it's Ryan Reynolds' voice, and it is really amazing to see it coming out of real Deadpool instead of faceless Pool from that Wolverine Origins movie.
Yep.
But I recommend seeing if you can find it. I thought
it was cool.
It got me excited for a Deadpool movie. But also on the leaking side of things, we have from the Fantastic Four reboot they're coming out with next year, what could be the first leaked pics of their version of The Thing. At least looking much more gray, or sort of like Krog from Thor: The Dark World, than the orange rocky bro we all like.
Yeah. And of course, you can't have a Comic-Con without The Walking Dead. And The Walking Dead Season 5 trailer dropped. So
big news
look forward to more of your favorite characters dying.
And jumping back to Star Wars here again, we have the trailer for Star Wars Rebels, the new 3D CG animated series that's going to be replacing the Clone Wars, and taking place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, to fill in that period of time within the new continuity of the movies.
And I'm looking forward to that. I love the Clone Wars. I actually just went back and rewatched the entire series.
Which do you prefer, the 3D CG animated or the 2D animated?
I actually like the 3D.
Really? Nice.
I did. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. And of course, the trailer for the Simpsons Family Guy crossover.
Simpsons Guy.
Yes.
Which actually is not the only crossover they're doing. They're also going to have Simpsons-orama in November, of a Simpsons Futurama crossover.
All right. And out of the TV and movie news is the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Already announced that there is going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy number 2 coming out on July 28, 2017. So look forward to that on your schedule.
That was the big news from Marvel, their sort of big reveal, along with the first footage that we saw from Avengers 2. Expect that online sometime as well. Along with some additional effects test footage for Ant-Man, along with plot and character details. There's a lot of changes that are going on there from the source material, so I'm not sure if big hardcore Ant-Man fans, all two of you,
Yeah.
we're really going to care that much about that, but it's there, and it's certainly showing how far Marvel is now willing to stray from the source material that it used to adhere to so fondly. We'll see if that works, but it's worked well, or at least controversially, in previous things like Iron Man 3.
Yep. And of course, throughout the course of Comic-Con, they were releasing pictures of 8 different posters that, when you tied it all together, made one big poster.
Oh, yeah.
And people, of course, immediately noticed that this is the first confirmation of seeing the Vision.
Yep. Played by the voice of Jarvis from the previous movies, Paul Bettany. You also
I like to see him step in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. On the DC side, we had the reveal of the Wonder Woman costume in her Xena cosplay.
Gal Gadot.
Oh.
A little bit of controversy. Some people love it, some people don't. It has been compared to a bit of a Xenification.
I feel like people will form a better opinion if we see it less sepia toned and with the actual color scheme.
But overall, I personally kind of like it. I like that it's bringing a little bit, well, gritty, but it does fit an idea of what an Amazon should be.
Yeah, it feels a lot like armor.
Yeah, and the red and blue and, it never quite fit with the Amazon.
Mm.
Never got the idea why she was actually really America.
Yeah.
When she's Themyscira. And I like it. Maybe this is, you never know. Maybe by the end of the movie she will be in the more classic costume.
Additionally, from DC, the first footage was shown from Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and it basically just confirmed that Batman's going to be wearing his big armor from Dark Knight Returns.
Yep.
We also have the news of The Last of Us movie has been confirmed
Oh,
with
yes.
some casting news, maybe?
Yes, this one is really cool. I'm looking forward to this, just because it could already be a movie.
Yeah.
And it's being directed by the same Neil Druckmann that, at least he has a part on the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
And also coming out of the news is Joe Hill, writer, told the Hordes panel, Universal Pictures is happy with the first draft of the Lock and Key script.
Oh.
And matter of fact, they actually want to turn it into a 3-part movie.
Really?
So fans of Lock and Key, which is, I know, a very big series, lots of fans out there, you may be getting a movie soon. 3.
We're also going to be seeing a Bayonetta anime coming out called
Which, I love Bayonetta.
Bayonetta Blood Fate, or Bloody Fate.
Yeah, and
For those of you who don't want to chill out for a Wii U, this will be your best chance to get some more Bayonetta.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah.
But big thing on this that's going to sell it to me, and I loved Bayonetta, but really it's the soundtrack, so I want to see what they get on that.
And then, of course, Fox showed off some more footage from the Gotham TV show that we're going to be getting in the fall. All the confirmation that Renee Montoya is going to be a character in it, leading some speculation that she'll become the Question somewhere on the series.
That'll be interesting. Still not quite completely sold on that.
Same. It does feel a lot like just waiting for Batman, the show.
Basically. And finally, we're just going to wrap things up with a little fun facts, because San Diego Comic-Con is just weird.
Just after all that news, here's just a little fun.
I mean, we already mentioned on our pre-show wrap-up that the Borderlands was having a laser tag about the life, and going along with the Gotham series, they had a zip line event, so you could go across the Gotham skyscape on a zip line. Ooh.
Yeah, and
But
then
this part I love.
The
This part
best
I
thing
love.
about Comic-Con for me has to be this.
The Pizza Hut and TMNT, because you can't call it Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtles anymore.
You can't do that anymore. That's another story.
Yeah.
They teamed up together to bring the pizza thrower tank to life. And I love this because I had that thrower when I was a kid.
They made it real, and it really did shoot pizzas. My only hope is that this made it into the film as well.
Yes, and people were going on there shooting figures and everything. So apparently it was a lot of fun. I'm really jealous. I wanted to get that. Like I said, I had the little pizza shooter when I was a kid, so this would have been great.
But I think that's all the news we have from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of news out there. I just saw on there that Saga is going to be having the first 3 volumes collected in a hardcover coming out soon, stuff like that. But that's the kind of little things that most people would get if they're interested in it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to cover more general news, but let us know, did we miss anything that you personally are excited for that should have made it on this video? Put in the comments. Other people can see it. That way you make up for our lacking.
Yeah, there we go.
So thank you very much, and we will see you next time we have a comic convention.
Yep.
Next one I'm going to at least is New York
Comic-Con. Yep.
So look forward to more news from that and covering the more news in general. But as usual for Comic Station, we're up on Wednesdays. So see you next week, and we cover the new releases for comic books at that time.
Yep.
So, all right, thank you very much, and this is our San Diego Comic-Con news wrap-up wrapping up.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you.